Not only will LSU fans be rooting on their Tigers Saturday night in Death Valley, they'll also be huge Mississippi State fans. So come on in and let's talk about it. It never rains on Talkin Tigers. Up next. Welcome to Talkin Tigers. I'm Jim Derry. While those losses to Alabama never seem to exit the system, there is a cure. A win against Arkansas on Saturday and an Alabama loss to Mississippi State, and the Tigers are back in control of their national championship destiny. A tall order? Maybe, but certainly not out of the question. To find out if I'm just the king of optimism, we turn to SEC and LSU columnist Ron Higgins. Hey, Ron, so what say you? Am I just dreaming?
No, you're not. You know, I mean, when you play State in Starkville, you've got to deal with all the cowbells. And, you know, this is Dak Prescott's last shot at Alabama, and you would think he's going to come out firing. So, no, I mean, that's not at all, you know, and it's tough to play two tough teams in a row like this. Certainly a challenge for Alabama, and you're right. I mean, you know, everybody who's an LSU fan probably got to buy a cowbell on Friday just to have it in their house Saturday or the game Saturday, you know, ringing it underneath their seat and hoping that the State will take care of Alabama. But, you know, LSU's got to take care of Arkansas, and that's a tall task itself because Arkansas has really been on a roll lately, over 50 points in each of their last three games, and they haven't done that since 1916. So their offense is rolling pretty good right now.
Yeah, they obviously seem to believe in themselves. Brett Bielema has them excited, and they played some fired-up football against Ole Miss last week.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they just battled that one to the end. And of course, 2 weeks before, went to 4 overtimes with Auburn and won. They're playing really well. I mean, and they have a veteran quarterback in Brandon Allen, who, I mean, and very nearly led Arkansas to a win here 2 years ago. And when Anthony Jennings, who had a late touchdown pass to Trayvon Durrell after Zach Mettenberger got hurt, and late in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, those guys are back. They're seniors now. Hunter Henley, the tight end, is a senior. That's the guy who threw the crazy overhead lateral last week against Ole Miss. And kept overtime alive. So they've got a bunch of veterans, and they've got their act together now. They figured things out after some early season losses.
Maybe they've used up all their divine intervention?
You would think so. I don't know if there's, there was another, two-hand overhead, lateral blind to your best running back in the playbook.
Well, last year when LSU played them, they were on some tough times, and they were able to turn some things around towards the end of the season. They played really well at the end. It's a similar situation. Maybe they've begun to turn the tide. It seems like they played a little bit better, and they're coming into Tiger Stadium with a lot of confidence.
Absolutely. They lost a bunch of people early in the year to injuries, especially a lot of receivers. And they had a new offensive coordinator who maybe tried to imbalance the offense a little bit too much toward the pass early. And they had some pretty stunning losses in a row early. But ever since then, they've got the balance back in their offense. They've got some people back healthy, and they're really playing with a lot of confidence. I mean, you could see last week against Ole Miss, as much as Ole Miss scored, Arkansas matched them score for score. So there's this confidence there. They could go in anywhere and win. And, as we know, going back to 2007, when Arkansas came in and beat LSU, I think it was 50-48, and LSU temporarily wasn't going to the national championship game. Arkansas has confidence they can come in Tiger Stadium and play with LSU.
I still hear Darren McFadden yelling, "Got that wood." That trophy still, Before we talk about the prediction, what is the key for LSU to turn things around and to win this game against Arkansas? Certainly no gimme. What's your number one key?
Number one key is to run the ball to control clock. And Arkansas isn't a good defense. They give up a ton of points and a ton of yardage. Obviously. And I think LSU needs a nice mix of plays. But, to help LSU's defense slow down Arkansas, nice, long, steady drives that eat clock, that would help too. And I think the LSU will bounce back in a big way this week from last week. Obviously, they're not playing a defense nearly as good. And I think they'll be playing a little bit angry because they got dominated at Tuscaloosa. So I think they want to come out and try to get back on track and get back in a physical way.
Give me a final score.
I'm going to go LSU 38-24.
Okay, well, I'm not going to say I agree with you because last week I said I agree with you and we jinxed them, so we'll just stay away from that. Hey, Ron, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next Friday. Maybe we'll sneak in a little basketball.
Absolutely, Jim.
All right, talk to you later. Thanks. Now, for today's Extra Point, we have some really good news and then some bad news to go with it. First, the good news. In the Les Miles era, LSU is 21-2 all-time after a loss. Well, that was against a bunch of pansies, you say? Not the case. In fact, the Tigers are 14-2 all-time under Miles in an SEC game following a loss. Now the bad news. Those two losses, well, they both have come at the hands of Arkansas. Last season, following the loss to Alabama, the Tigers were shut out by the Razorbacks 17-0. And in 2008, Jarrett Lee, Jordan Jefferson, remember them, and the rest of the Tigers? Well, they were defeated by Arkansas 31-30, as Casey Dick completed a 24-yard pass to London Crawford with just 22 seconds left, putting a heart in the hearts of Tigers fans. Well, overall, LSU is 36-21-2 against Arkansas, and Les Miles' record is 6-4, with wins in 3 of the past 4 seasons. Well, let's leave it at that, and we'll be back Tuesday to see if those national championship aspirations, well, we'll see if they remain alive and kicking. See you then, and enjoy the game.